Otto Warmbier's parents have just responded to President Trump after he chose to take Kim Jong-un at his word that Kim Jong-un says he didn't know about the mistreatment that Otto Warmbier faced when he was detained by the North Koreans. Let me read you what Otto's parents are saying. Quote, Kim and his evil regime are responsible for the death of our son, Otto. Kim and his evil regime are responsible for unimaginable cruelty and inhumanity. No excuses or lavish praise can change that. With me now to discuss this and much more, Fareed Zakaria, host of CNN's Fareed Zakaria GPS. It's really clear who they're talking about here with lavish praise. And by the way, I think it's worth noting that Otto Warmbier's parents had praised President Trump and really criticized the Obama administration. They'd praised Trump for bringing their son home.
Yeah, and of course they are right and Donald Trump is wrong. Trump's remarks about Warmbier are incomprehensible. I mean, he talks about how this is a large country. How could he possibly know everything that was going on? No, North Korea is a small police state. It is run like a prison camp. The idea that an American, of all things, would be captured and tortured without the knowledge of the supreme leader is inconceivable. And in any event, why would Trump publicly say that he agrees with Kim? I think because Trump really does have a fascination and some kind of affiliation with these strongmen. He likes them. He likes the idea that he goes mano a mano with them. He likes the idea that they've developed this bond, whether it's Putin, Mohammed bin Salman in Saudi Arabia here. And in all of those cases, you remember, he always says, Putin tells me he didn't interfere in the elections, and I trust him. MBS tells me he didn't order the killing of Khashoggi. I trust him. Kim tells me he didn't know about Warmbier. I trust him. In all three cases, by the way, American intelligence says the opposite. But you have a strange personalistic fascination that derives, I think, fundamentally from Trump's narcissism, where everything is about him and his relationship with these people.
Well, let's think about how it can endanger Americans abroad. If other autocratic leaders and dictators think that they will be taken at their word, even if they detain or kill an American citizen, that's a big danger. Let me ask you about this. You voted yay last year on nuclear sanctions against North Korea on a piece of legislation called the Otto Warmbier Nuclear Sanctions Act. We have just heard from the parents of Otto Warmbier condemning the Kim regime, blaming them solely for the death of their son Otto after the president, shockingly this week, says he takes Kim Jong-un's word over that of the intelligence community on the death and condition of Otto Warmbier. What is your reaction to the president doing that?
Yeah, I haven't seen the president's remarks or seen the tweet. That's you mentioned it here.
We have it. No, okay, so let's take a moment because this is really important. And guys in the control room, let me know when we have the president's remarks pulled up, because Otto's parents just said Kim and his evil regime are responsible for the death of our son Otto. They go on to say they're responsible for unimaginable cruelty and inhumanity. But here's what the president said.
He felt badly about it. I did speak to him. He felt very badly. But he knew the case very well, but he knew it later. And, you got a lot of people, a big country, a lot of people. And in those prisons and those camps, you have a lot of people. And some really bad things happened to Otto. Some really, really bad things.
Why are you willing
to
call him?
But he tells me that he didn't know about it, and I will take him at his word.
Congressman, should President Trump take Kim Jong-un at his word on that?
I can tell you that everything that I know about that case, what the president said initially, is true. This was an absolute murder. It's torture and murder. I think that the North Korean regime should be held accountable for it. I think it's extraordinarily unlikely that the president of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, was holding one of the very few Americans that have been held over history, and that he wasn't aware of that person or aware of his treatment and his conditions. Now, look, I understand the president is trying to develop a relationship with Kim Jong-un. I know he's trying to develop a positive relationship where they can move forward on a very, very critical issue. But at the same time, we can't turn a blind eye to how this young man was treated. And short of other intelligence would indicate otherwise, I think, once again, the North Koreans tortured and murdered this young person. And I think it's unlikely that Kim Jong-un wasn't aware of that.
Did the president turn a blind eye to that with that statement, Congressman?
Well, I think what the president's trying to do is, again, develop a relationship with someone that we need a relationship with in order to hopefully move forward on an incredibly important and dangerous situation. That's North Korea having nuclear weapons that can reach almost every city in the United States. I understand that's his motive, but we have to also frame it in what we believe is true and what we think is important regarding American values.
Right, our values are our interests, and our interests are our values. Sounds like you're reiterating that now famous line. Congressman Chris Stewart, I do appreciate your time and all of that this morning. I hope you'll join us again perhaps next week after you question Michael Cohen again. Thank you.
I'm sure we will. Thank you.